Welcome back. Attorneys are now in a dispute over a witness at the trial of a U.S. Embassy bombing suspect, Ahmed Galani. Back in 1998, terror attacks on our embassies in Kenya and Tanzania killed 224 people, including 12 Americans. A key witness in the case breaking down and allegedly saying he would testify after being interrogated by the FBI. But a federal judge may stop him from ever taking the witness stand. Let's have a fair and balanced debate about this. Two terrific lawyers. Fred Tisi is a former federal prosecutor. Kelly Saindon is a criminal defense attorney. Good to see you both.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Fred, you know, the exclusionary rule is bedrock in federal civilian courts. Evidence obtained illegally, let's say through coercion, is inadmissible. If they found out about this witness through an illegal interrogation, illegal in federal court, but not so in military tribunals, this witness cannot be called, can he?
Correct. He cannot be, and that's what this is all about. You know, the defense is seized on this notion that the statements were, the witness was found in violation of Galani's constitutional rights. I mean, and this is what happens when you make the decision that you were going to afford the constitutional rights to people like Galani. I mean, you can't pull the pin out of the grenade and then say, wow, I can't, it went boom. I mean, it is conceivable to me, based upon what I've seen so far and the opinions redacted, that this witness may never, ever see the inside of the courtroom. And the government has to show, you know, the judge has already rejected most of the government's arguments in this case and left them the opportunity to show that there's some attenuation.
Yeah, you know, Kelly, prosecutors have made a couple of arguments. One is, well, we would have inevitably found this witness. Well, that's unknowable and unprovable. And their other argument is, well, the witness has agreed to appear voluntarily. So what? That doesn't negate the exclusionary rule.
Absolutely, you're right. That doesn't negate it, and it's not about the witness's rights in this. The witness could take the Fifth Amendment if he was somehow complicit, but this isn't about him. It's about the defendant. The defendant, unfortunately, in our society, even if he's being charged with being a terrorist, with bombings, he has the right to protections, as you said, in a civil tribunal. And because this was gained illicitly, that the FBI interrogated this guy, this witness wasn't somebody that they knew about, it's likely he's not going to get in.
Yeah,
but Kelly, your words, in this society. That's why, you know, this is what happens when we decide to extend the constitutional rights beyond our society, and now we're compromised in our ability to prosecute a guy who killed 224 people.
And Fred, I mean, let's extend this to Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, captured on the battlefield, if you will, not read Miranda rights, of course, and nobody really seriously insists he should have been, not given a right to counsel, but all of the derivative evidence obtained from him, all of that is excluded. I mean,
it is. It's subject to exclusion. It is. It very much is.
Greg, I mean, that's a big problem.
Right.
It's a big problem in our society. I absolutely agree with you. But if we're going to try them like we're at a time of war, we need to do that, and those rules need to go out the window. Unfortunately, we haven't made that declaration. They are afforded the protections that our society was founded on.
Well, and the other thing that you've got here, Fred, is, you know, there's a famous Supreme Court case that if the government treats a defendant in a way that shocks the conscience, the judge can dismiss the entire case. Now, that argument was made in this particular case, Galani, but it's certainly going to be made against Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and he could have the entire case dismissed against him, couldn't he?
He could, and so could have Galani. And the judge, you're right, did reject that, although I thought Judge Kaplan was intellectually honest when he said, look, you know, you're going to apply the Fourth Amendment rights here, then I'm going to follow where the law leads me. So you're absolutely right. And, you know, what does the administration do when Mohammed gets acquitted or gets the charges thrown out against him? Now what do we do?
Yeah. You know, I'm going to let you, Kelly, have the last word on this, but, you know, shocking under federal court rules is one thing. It's not so shocking during a time of war with terrorists captured on the battlefield. And isn't that the critical difference here that Eric Holder needs to distinguish?
That is 100% the difference. People that come in our country and perform terrorist acts or outside of this country, terroristic to us, should not be afforded the same protections. Unfortunately, they are, but they should not be. They're not citizens, and they don't deserve our rights.
Kelly Saindon, Fred Tisi, good to see you both. Thank you.
Greg.
Thanks for having me.